gonna do? We're gonna watch a whole bunch of news reports.
Kill his young victim and the boy's family.
You stab, you stab, you stab.
How dare you? The mega mini crime compilation. You know what? We're just gonna start off heavy because I'm trying to see somebody get roasted. The title of this video is Detroit Judge Goes Off on Rape Defendant Who Swore at Her in Court.
And a Detroit judge explodes in anger after a courtroom outburst.
Okay.
Be quiet!
Oh.
Take him back! Take him
Take
out!
it back!
Take him
Take
out!
it back!
No! Just take him out!
Okay. What happened?
They don't say don't mess with Judge Vonda Evans for nothing.
On trial for rape, Anthony Thornton takes the stand
Bye,
in his
Anthony.
defense.
Yes, it was me and her had consensual sex.
Oh, you had consensual sex.
I
Okay.
asked her.
Okay.
We all need a Judge Vonda. Can you imagine taking a man to trial for a sexual assault and the fear of not knowing how it's going to pan out, how people are going to try to blame you? Will people believe you? What is the judge thinking? What are they saying? And then imagine you come in and Vonda is the judge and she said, oh, it was consensual, huh? Oh, it was. Oh, fuck you. Get out. Thank you, Vonda.
Judge
Thank you,
Vonda
Vonda.
Evans was in the middle of giving her verdict, but Thornton kept talking.
See, when you tell one lie, you got to remember the 100 lies that you told to cover that lie up.
That wasn't no lie.
Be quiet and don't talk in my courtroom.
She
The
triggered.
judge kicks Thornton out, and that's when things heat up.
I'm innocent.
Be quiet. Take him back.
That's right.
Take him out.
That's right.
Take him out now.
You.
No. Just take him
She
out.
Did it look like she almost told him to have a seat back down?
The judge continues her verdict without Thornton present.
And the court is going to so find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt as to count 1 and count 2 criminal sexual conduct.
Judge Evans then orders Thornton to return, and she does not miss
Just leave him
words.
standing. Mr. Thornton,
She still has to
I'm
sentence
going to
him.
address with the comment that you made. It was disrespectful for you
I'm sorry.
to say me.
I'm sorry.
Look, don't mess with the person that's signing your papers, okay? Dude, this is, Because you guys know after this, so the jury is going to come in with the verdict, and then Vonda is the one that decides how long he stays in jail. How you gonna say fuck you? You know, those 2 words, fuck you, could take 5 extra years off of your life and your freedom.
Thornton offers multiple apologies, but it's too late.
You were out of line.
Yes, I was, and I'm sorry. All I've been saying is how things about
I'm saying what you said to this court.
And I apologize deeply because you've been treating me fair.
I have never been anything but respectful to you. And for you to say me in my courtroom was unacceptable.
Yes, I'm deeply sorry. Just upset because I didn't do it.
Dude, I feel like I'm being reprimanded right now. I'm gonna rate Judge Vonda 8.5. I feel like because she also had an emotional outburst there, we really should be giving her more of a 7 for the professionalism there. But you know what? The entertainment factor was there, so Vonda gets 1.5 points back. Thank you. Thank you, Vonda. Murderous Nanny wanted to see mom's reaction to slain kids.
These parents are enduring an almost unimaginable grief.
This is my first story.
Their 6-year-old daughter Lulu and 2-year-old son Leo were stabbed to death by the family nanny.
What? I think I heard of this case. Oh my God.
Pleading not guilty by reason of insanity.
This trial will be very hard for us and for a lot of you.
Prosecutors say the nanny felt, quote, resentment and rage at the amount of work she was being asked to do,
Then
and that her
go.
anger reached.
Go somewhere else. Leave. Get out of my home.
This photo shows Mrs. Krim on the day of the slayings in 2012.
Damn.
Her face, a mask of grief.
I recently had a friend that was murdered. It's crazy because this is what we do. We talk about true crime and the people that are going through it. And I can't, because the feeling is like pretty fresh, I can't explain to you enough the confusion, the blame, the anger, the guilt, all of those emotions swirling around all at once. Grief is an incredibly difficult emotion because there are so many components to it, and you feel like you're dealing with all of them at once, and it just comes in waves. And I absolutely cannot imagine the horror of walking in on that scene of your children and how much guilt and blame she's probably going to put on herself for a very long time, because saying, oh, if I had been there, oh, if I had hired someone else, it's a way of trying to control the grief. You can't blame yourself for this stuff, man. This lady's just a nut.
The defendant split the throats of the children to be sure that neither could scream out for help.
Today, the
There
nanny,
she is.
55-year-old Yoselin Ortega, stared straight ahead as the prosecutor described
Oh my
the awful
God.
moment Mrs. Krim found her slain children.
Oh my God.
Marina Krim opened the bathroom door and saw the bloodied, lifeless bodies of her 6-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son stacked in the bathtub, their eyes open, covered in blood, staring ahead.
The prosecutor said the nanny waited to see the mom's reaction at finding her children's bodies.
Oh my God.
Then plunged the knife into her own neck in a failed suicide bid.
She was visibly shaken and crying uncontrollably, and at times she looked directly at the defendant, screaming, "You're disgusting, you're a liar." The grieving mother also described in horrific detail what she discovered on that dark day, saying it was like a horror movie.
All right, these are taking me for a little roller coaster. Let's do a longer one, but they're pretty intense. Is this interesting to you guys? This is truly true crime for people with ADHD, okay? We just keep it going. We just keep it going, bro. Okay, let's watch the next video. Couple lives in fear after buying their new house.
It's the dream of so many people, a home to call your own. But what if your dream house is somebody else's dream too, about to turn your home sweet home into a nightmare?
That is exactly what happened to young couple Jerry and Janice. With a young child and a baby on the way. Little pranks at first, but then real danger. Strangers showing up, someone out for revenge against them, playing real estate roulette with their lives. Here's Chris Conlon.
What the fuck is real estate roulette?
Someone's trying to rape my wife.
It's scary.
Before this
Hello?
young couple took note of every act against them. Before they took desperate measures to protect themselves from spikes on the fence.
It's always on our mind.
Spikes on the fence? What about that fence? Well, maybe they just, okay.
That stuff never goes away.
Better get double
The
spiked
self-defense
up, bro.
instruction.
I would kind of think about like the escape route.
Before all that, in the fall of 2011, Jerry Rice, a former competitive swimmer, was teaching special ed classes for kids with autism. Wife Janice Ruler
Okay,
was a
Good Samaritan.
microbiologist at a children's hospital.
Another
They had one
Good Samaritan.
child they'd been saving for a house. And thanks to friend and real estate agent Renee Milton, they got one. This one-story house.
People in the morning go for walks, they take their dogs out, they skip
this
by the
song.
park on
Who
their way to
picked this?
school.
At $779,000, the house scraped the top of their range. But
It was amazing. It was like, what? This is ours? We were going to raise our family in the house.
Avery,
and she's
Jerry says he
pregnant.
barely noticed the unusual note that would be a kind of introduction to their nightmare.
Our agent made an offer to Kenmore, and the selling agent for that, we would pay you up to $100,000 to be able to purchase the house. With so many parties involved, 3 sets of agents, I wanted to make sure that was
A note that
communicated
came to the house in their first
to you and let you know the offer still stands. We need to move forward though, so if you could please let us know either way by October 20th, 2011, we would appreciate it.
It's basically said that someone was willing to offer up to $100,000 to buy our home from us.
$100,000 above the price that you'd paid for it.
I threw it in a cupboard. Our daughter was overdue.
Only then, something a little creepy. The house turned up again for sale on the real estate site Zillow under an obviously fake realtor's name.
What?
Jacques Arce.
Okay, genius.
That was the start of an escalating harassment campaign.
This
Next,
is weird.
$1,000 in bills for bladder control products and magazine subscriptions arrived.
This sounds like somebody from the internet. This sounds like some shit that they would do on B back in the day.
Mail stopped entirely. There was an online ad for a New Year's Eve party at their home. Tame stuff? Maybe. But the Rices got the ominous big
New
picture.
Year's Eve?
Someone was targeting them and wanted them out.
Who was it that wanted them out
Did
of
they
this
catch
house so
them?
bad? And was it just one person? Someone was trying to harass them to where they would leave this property.
Next, an attempt to get the Rices' neighbors angry with them. A Valentine's Day card. The ideal way to share a little love with that special
No.
someone. Only Paul Abel, one of the Rices' neighbors, didn't see it quite that way because the card was sent to his
wife?
Tanya.
from the other guy.
Wasn't from you?
Wasn't from me.
Dude.
Valentine's Day card safe.
This level of harassment is really, really annoying. Like, it's pretty, like, surface level, like, almost like internet shit. But when you don't know who it is or where it's coming from, it can be incredibly anxiety-inducing to not know what's going to happen next or how it's going to escalate. Because clearly, this person wants attention.
Valentine's Day cards purportedly signed by Jerry had been sent to every wife in the cul-de-sac.
Oh my God.
The same thing
How
I
did
said
they
to
find the
everyone.
name of the wives?
We're
Looking
really
through
sorry
mail?
We're getting harassed by someone. Someone obviously hates us.
But who was the hater? With 2 children to protect, Jerry and Janice would never forget the jolt of fear they felt as a cop gave it to them straight.
He said whoever was doing it was probably pretty sick. They were probably watching. And that sent chills down my back. Having the police officer tell me that.
Yeah, you know
we
what,
need to-
too?
we
They
need
ain't
to
got a
watch out for
job.
our
They ain't
children.
doing nothing. That's the
Scary.
profile of this person.
Who was watching? It all haunted Jerry.
He became very distant and really focused on trying to protect our family.
Damn.
He would be up a lot during the night.
They turned to cops as they
Could it
braced
be
for the
an
next
ex?
attack, never imagining how shocking it would be.
This is your picture, and these are the words underneath it. Carmel Valley Freak Show. Come see me during the day while my husband is at
Oh,
work.
it might be a
and
guy.
We can get our freak on.
You know, my stomach dropped. I was like, oh, okay, now my photo's on there. That's very personal.
And your home address, where your children live.
Right.
Damn.
Then, while at work, Jerry got an urgent message from the police.
To come back to the house because they had some information to share with us.
I'm sorry. I've been on the internet for a while. That shit, I've had that done to me so many times. People like trying to post me on like back pages or something. It's like a sexual solicitation website or whatever. And I've had people try to post my picture or my phone number and shit like that up there. I remember the first time it happened, it was like 10 years ago or something like that. And somebody actually called me and like, I knew exactly what it was. I knew exactly who had done it in the first place. And like a dude legit called me. And I was like, yeah, $5,000, buddy. You don't have it? All right. Thanks for calling. Like, that's all I did. That's all I did. Like,
Men had responded to that online ad and been in touch with someone pretending to be Janice. This is what one of them had been told.
I like the element of surprise. Someone pretending to be you.
Right.
Did it occur to you at that moment?
That's scary.
How much danger?
Oh, yeah.
That is terrifying.
Who was that
actually.
strange man at the front door? And who was behind it all? By this time, they had growing suspicion. Remember that long-forgotten note dropped off months earlier from an unsuccessful...
What was the name on that document?
Kathy Rowe?
When Janice searched Kathy Rowe on Facebook, she recoiled in horror. She'd seen that face before, at her front door, on Halloween.
Immediately.
Coming up, cops start looking at the bitter.
I have never seen anything like this in my time as a prosecutor.
And Kathy Rowe, outbid, outraged, and out to get even?
When I walked in, it felt like my house.
Yeah, but it wasn't your house.
Stay
Wait,
with
that was her? Oh my God, is there more? Woman admits to harassing couple who bought home she wanted.
That just didn't seem right. At least if you were Kathy Rowe, it didn't.
Oh my God.
I had put so much hope into this house. I walked in, it was my house.
Is she in jail?
No, but it felt like the house I always wanted to own. And when I found out we didn't get it, it was devastating, it was heartbreaking. It was almost like the loss of a loved one. It was that critical to me.
Kathy Rowe had a job with the county, had a very ill husband, she said, and had a Mother of the Year award for being the sole caregiver looking after their severely disabled daughter, Rachel. That house, though.
It had more significance than just a structure with 4 walls. When I lost it,
why is she talking like a victim now? What the fuck?
I cried and cried.
Someone said take the
Kathy
award
Rowe
back.
also had enough bank to offer $100,000 more for Jerry and Janice's home. When they failed to respond to the note she sent them, she launched a harassment campaign, stopping their mail, relisting the house on Zillow, sending those phony Valentines. Oh, and at the outset, coming by the house with her daughter on Halloween.
You wanted to see who was in the house, didn't you?
I had no interest in them. I was more curious what they had done to the house.
Who came to the door when you tricked?
What, the renovations, Kathy? Do you just want to check it out in case you want to move in 10 years?
Retreated.
The wife.
The wife, Janice, whose photo Kathy Rowe would later put on this Carmel Valley freak show online ad, inviting men to stop by anytime.
Dude, yeah, that's another thing that is just wildly fucked up. They said that this woman actually wrote in the advertisement, like, her address and said that she loves surprises, implying that men should just show up at the house. I'm surprised that we're even listening to her right now. What if that had happened?
I was jealous, destroyed, and devastated with pain and depression.
Who frickety who? Lashing out at innocent people.
That's the form that it took.
You enjoyed this, didn't you?
No.
You enjoyed making these people suffer.
Well, I thought it was funny. I did not view it as suffering.
But when men responded to the ad,
she didn't think of it as funny. She thought of it as working, like getting closer to what she wanted. She was trying to scare them out of the house. It's wild to me that somebody can be that fucking unhinged, harassing this family, getting this woman almost raped, and then go on national television and act like a normal fucking person while winning Best Mom of the Year. Oh my God, these pieces of shit are everywhere. Turn around. You don't know. There could be somebody behind you right now.
When men responded to the ad, Kathy Rowe wrote them back, fueling the fire, providing specific and perverse encouragement to one 25-year-old male looking for fun with a totally unaware Janice.
I'm gonna leave out the dirty words here. This is someone pretending to be you. I'm pretty much home all day, every day, bored and incredibly horny. I love to be surprised and have a man just show up at the door and force his way in the door and on me.
I have no words. What an actual fucking psychopath.
Then, for the Rices, the ultimate nightmare. Another man did show up at the house, only Janice wasn't home. Jerry met him at the front door.
He thought he was gonna walk in and have his way with your wife.
That's horrifying for the wife. That's also got to be terrifying for the dude, too. Moving into this new home with your 2 children and your wife, what do you want to do? You want to provide and you want to protect. It's like ingrained in so many men. And not everybody. Some dudes, they might have a different MO, but I'm saying there's a lot of guys that feel that way. And to move your wife into this home and feel like you can't protect her or your children and like you have no control over the situation is horrifying. I mean, she even said earlier in the video that he would just freeze sometimes. And I get that, dude.
It never even crossed my mind that a man could go to the house and hurt her.
Force his way in the door and on me.
Never even crossed my mind.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I normally am more concerned about other people's safety and welfare than my own.
Yeah, not so much this time.
Absolutely not this time.
Yeah, no shit, honey! Let's go to the next video. Angry judge tells convicted murderer, I hope you die in prison.
If a judge could throw the book at a woman, he managed to do so today. Not physically, but certainly by his stinging words. And he had a lot of them for 31-year-old
We love an
Camille
angry
Gamut.
judge.
Gamut claimed it was self-defense and showed no remorse today.
At trial, the way I was portrayed, mostly everything was lies. There was a little bit of truth, but mostly I was convicted off of lies.
Family members who got a chance to address the court today.
I'm scared of her. Not just because she looks like she could beat me up or anything. Maybe the orange jumpsuit is playing a factor. But first of all, you don't get them braids. You were not here to play. Second of all, the demeanor. Everything was based on lies. I'm like, okay, I'll just leave. I'll just go. I'm okay with that.
Family members who got a chance to address the court today would beg to differ.
So remember the cries of help that he screamed as you plunged that knife in and out of his body.
A first-degree murder conviction by law meant Gamut, who stabbed Hill 11 times, would get life behind bars.
Oh, goodbye.
Still, while family members spoke, she would only roll her eyes and laugh. But Jackson County Circuit Court Judge John McBain...
Dude, a day like this in court for a family that's going through the grief of a murder would sit there and regret the day that their child ever met this person. That this person ever entered their life, their family's life. And what can you do? This is your moment in court where they're supposed to be brought to justice. and you're reading your witness impact statement and she's just over here smiling. There are just some people that you cannot get through to. And that fucking hurts, man, because we want to control grief so badly.
And you're going to shut your mouth or I'm going to have some duct tape put on it.
Okay.
No duct tape would be found. The jury convicted Gamut for stabbing and beating Hill to death.
Somebody had
Her
to say
lawyer
something.
Argued she killed an unknown attacker in a dark room and started whacking an intruder after she woke up to glass being smashed on her head. The judge wasn't buying that and called it the worst cold-blooded murder he's ever seen. The prosecutor argued Gamut's actions were premeditated and deliberate.
We have no choice but to send her where she will also die. I can't believe she stands before you doing this morning.
Gamut had a history of violence against Hill, who told police in March of 2013 she hit him in the head with a hammer. The prosecutor showed the jury a number of weapons she used, including a bloody floor lamp, a frying pan, but the judge narrowed in on the knife.
You gutted him like a fish in that apartment, too. You were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead.
Why did he say that like a cartoon character? I ain't mad at it, though. Somebody had to say something. Because the victims' families, they can't say anything. They could get thrown out in contempt of court, you know? Like, the attorneys, they got a job to do. The prosecutor might feel like they can't win their case if they go in too hard on the defendant. So the judge is really the only person that could be out here spitting. And I'm glad he did.
I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
Family members say justice was served today, and they hope a lesson was learned about how abuse can come in all forms, no matter the gender.
Oh my God. Man, I'm gonna give him an 8.52. That was some good judging. That was some good judging. And we are also here to judge. Let's go to the next case. Hitman allegedly hired by teacher to kill student and family tells his story. What? Can you imagine Miss Jefferson hiring somebody to kill you because you're acting up in class? Come on, bro.
A former teacher accused of sexually assaulting a little boy at school was back in court today.
Oh my
Prosecutors
God.
claim that Deontay Taylor not only molested the child, but also hired someone to kill his young victim and the boy's family.
I think I'm gonna have a breakdown!
PJ Rendawa sits down for an exclusive interview with the man allegedly hired to do that hit. PJ.
Mike and Ann, our investigation sounds more like a Hollywood movie than real life. In the starring role, a homeless father of 10 who was just desperate enough to take the job. Jail isn't a place anyone wants to be, John White included.
Well, they put murderers in with traffic tickets. Whenever they have room, they stick you.
He's not a career criminal, but no Boy Scout either. On his record, a string of offenses. A 2014 burglary tops the list.
I haven't had much. I've not, no big crimes or anything.
But when White found himself behind bars on a probation violation in February, the big crime found him.
And he called me to the rec yard and said, hey, I got something I need you to do for me. I want to know if you will take a hit.
White says the man making that deadly request was an elementary school teacher named Deontay Taylor.
Oh my
Taylor was in
God.
jail charged with molesting a student at Lusher Elementary School. Turns out that little boy was still on Taylor's mind, and as police would soon discover, on his hit list.
And he told me that it was a 10-year-old boy and his mother and grandmother, and I kind of got interested, like, are you serious? You want to hurt a baby? You know
White didn't want to believe Taylor was serious. Then he got the note.
That Saturday, he pushed a note up under my door. It had the victim's name, phone number, address.
This does not seem like the right person to hire for a hit. Is it just me, or does this guy seem pretty nice? Like, sure, he was in jail, but his demeanor. If I'm looking for a hitman, I'm gonna hire somebody named Fridge, and not like that's his nickname. I want that to be his first name. Why do y'all watch it? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This guy seems like a nice person. He's like, are you serious?
Name, phone number, address, social security number, driver's license number.
Oh my God. And he got it from school, probably.
Did he describe what he wanted you to do specifically? How he wanted them killed?
Are we in this guy's house? Where are we that there are 2 mobile wheelchairs and a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff? This is the hitman that he hired? This is it. He may as well have walked into the Build-A-Bear workshop and hired one of the employees to do this hit. The Hello Kitty Hitman. Stop!
The only specific part he asked was that it looked like an accident, make it look like a carbon monoxide leak, or either start a fire while everybody was asleep and try and put it on the kid playing with matches.
Okay. Those are horrific ways to die.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Even though he had 10 kids of his own, White says he agreed to kill the little boy and his family.
So I felt like if I didn't do it, he would have gotten somebody else to do it.
How much was he going to pay you?
It was $20,000.
Did he talk about where he'd get the money?
Well, the school.
I was wrong.
Was paying him.
It's the Hello Kitty Hitman.
Before he was released, White says Taylor gave him a name and phone number.
He told me that Mike was his ride or die.
According to prosecutors, Taylor's ride or die was this man, 66-year-old Michael Johnson, Taylor's longtime boyfriend.
What I gathered from it, Michael was going to court, and he was describing how the mother and the grandmother looked. This is where I met Michael the first time. He was just saying, I appreciate you doing this, because Deontay needs to be...
Imagine somebody signing up for a hit and somebody's like, hey man, yo, I really appreciate you doing this. I got a lot on my mind right now and I just couldn't handle it myself, so I really appreciate you coming through, all right?
Back to the church because I'm the choir coordinator.
White had two choices, take the money and run or sound the alarm. Did you at any point, even consider it?
Never. I got a baby that just turned 10. And that's all that was going through my head.
He turned everything over to investigators.
They said they weren't surprised. They seen everything.
St. Louis County Police took it from there, and prosecutors found enough evidence to charge both Taylor...
Wait, Chloe said, take the money, then go to the police and don't say shit about the money. That is absolutely the move. That is 100% the move. You make them think you're going to do it. Take the money, get your little advance or whatever, and then tell them, and now I'm going to leave, and if you say anything, I'll take you out too. And then you go to the police and turn them in with all of the information. Make sure you collect all of the text messages, emails, receipts, anything of that nature, and record it. When I first started doing true crime on Twitch, a lot of people would make jokes like, oh, is BOZE going to kill me? BOZE could get away with a murder. Like, is BOZE going to do this to me or something like that? Which is a really weird thing to say because I'm like, what are you planning on doing to me to make me want to kill you? I suggest you think about that first, and then we'll get to the second part later. Anything
and
weird?
Upon them bringing him in the police station, I think he seen my face, and he says out loud, oh, he told on me. Amy like, wow, really? You confessing already?
He confessed.
He confessed.
White admits he could have used the money, but he has no regrets going from potential hitman to, some would say, a hero. Do you feel like you saved their lives?
I do, because they were very serious. Definitely was divine intervention. I have no question.
How embarrassing to think that you, as a child molester, are so important to the world. A child molester that's working in the elementary school education system. You think you are so important that this child that has an entire future and his entire family should die, and this man should risk going to prison for you. Whoa. Whoa. What world are we living in? It's a crazy world we're living in. Two women react to their life sentence.
To ignore what must have been the excruciating sounds that came from that child on a daily basis is more than disconcerting to this court. And as such, the court finds it appropriate that each be sentenced to the State Department of Corrections for a period of life. You will get credit for any of the time that you've served.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
No. We ain't gonna be hurting people and then crying like this. Is that how they were crying when you hurt them? Come on now, girl. Get it. Pick yourself up. Get up. Ah! Get up. Oh, maybe it's the family that's crying like that. Or I don't know who passed out or if it... I think there's multiple people screaming. Yeah. Get up. A reaction like this, too, can come from somebody compartmentalizing through the entire trial, compartmentalizing what you did, compartmentalizing that you're in jail now, compartmentalizing the whole legal process, compartmentalizing how your family feels, and holding out until you get an answer, you know, and they hope that that answer would give them some type of relief. And so here's all of the emotions that they've been bottling up over the past couple of weeks or months or years to get through this. And it all boils out. And this is how you felt the whole time because you're a piece of shit. Okay, wait, let me read you guys a little description, then we'll hop back into the video. 2 women collapsed in court Thursday morning after receiving life sentences for the death of a 3-year-old girl. Shanita Cunningham and Erica Butts her name is Erica Mae Butts. So these 2 women were in a relationship together. This is Butts' goddaughter. It's like not even their child. They beat a 3-year-old child to death for peeing on the floor. Goodbye, separate cells, separate jail. We're not in a relationship anymore. The relationship's over. I cannot imagine upsetting my mother like this. I cannot imagine disappointing my family like this. I cannot imagine putting them through this. I cannot imagine being wheeled out of the courtroom like this. The humiliation, the embarrassment of their own actions. Your parent watching them feeling like they failed as a parent in real time. How dare you? You know, my mom and I have had a rough road, but you know, that woman put a lot into raising me over 18 years, and I absolutely would not pay her back by taking the life of another, throwing out all of anything she'd ever given me or taught me in my life, and then making her sit in this courtroom and watching this happen. This is horrible for the parents, too. It's like so disappointing. That sounds like that's her mom. That hurts me. That shit hurts, bro. Dude, that poor mom, bro. I genuinely feel so bad for this mom. Judge gets emotional during sentencing of Ohio man who sexually abused 2 girls. Dude, we're seeing some abusers get some justice today, and I'm here for it.
You will be a tier 3 registrant.
Also, friendly reminder. We talked about this one stream when we were watching I Survived, and it's something that I'm personally going to think of, and I just want to remind you guys. There is a national sex offender list for a reason. Before you move into a home with your children, your new permanent home, before you get an apartment that you're moving to and planning on having kids, look at the registry. Look at the map and see if there are any offenders in your area. You should know. That tool is around for a reason, and so if you need a reminder that that is available for you before you move to a neighborhood with your children, please look at that. Please take a look.
This court is so sick and tired of seeing adults ruin and abuse children. These are literally just one step from being babies. They come to a daycare, those parents struggle so that when they release their children to someone during the day, they have some semblance that that child is going to be protected and safe. Not let alone 2 of their children being raped by your own admission, sir. For sexual gratification.
Oh my God, get him.
You violated a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Oh my
I do
God.
not know at this time what the total ramifications will be for those 2 young children, but there isn't anybody who doesn't understand now the developmental phases of children take place from 0 to 6 years old.
Yeah, and you have destroyed
You
that.
can't even know what damages you've done for sexual gratification. This to me is so mind-boggling that you used and abused 2 little children like they're inconsequential beings. Those are human persons with human dignity. The mere fact that they're small little people that can't fight off adults, that's why an adult left them with adults.
Hold on, she's spitting. Collect ourselves. This is a good one, bro. This is a good one. Get him.
I'm going to tell you something, Mr. McFadden. There's no free rapes in my courtroom. On count 1, I'm sending you to prison for 11 years. On count 4, I'm sending you to prison for 11 years. They will be consecutive to each other for a total of 22 years.
22? People get away with assault all the time. People get really low sentences. I can't tell you how many times we've sat here on this stream and for a child even heard 4 years, 5 years. 22 years for this is, you know, we want life, but in terms of the American legal system, this is justice. I want it to be life, but we'll take what we can get. No 4-year bullshit in this courtroom.
2 days jail credit. At this time, the court finds it necessary to protect the public from future crimes, to punish the offender, and to find that consecutive sentences are not disproportionate to the seriousness of the offender's conduct and to the danger the offender poses to the public. Folks, if you see it, you smell it, you know it's happening, you report it. These are little children that are the future. I hate to sound so cliche, but the children are our future, and if we're destroying them, we have no future. And this ends in this courtroom. That'll be all.
I'm gonna say 10 out of 10 judge here. You know, the other ones, we gave some bonus points for the entertainment factor. We get passion. We get a correct sentence here. And you know what? Even though she was very emotional and passionate, I'm gonna say, you know, judge gave us a little bit of poise in it, okay? Damn, I want to do more of it. That was truly, truly ADHD true crime. We just went through 7 cases, I think. Oh my God.